Recording.
Yeah, good evening. You join us doing a preview of, on Wednesday night, Wolves on the 3rd of December 2025 at home to Nottingham Forest. It's our 13th game, or is it 13th? Yeah, and we're still on 2 points. The new manager, Rob Edwards, has played 2 and lost 2, but that doesn't tell the whole story. The first game, 2-0 at home to Palace, and on Sunday, West Midlands derby away at Villa. We lost 1-0, but they look like there's been a change in the all outlook of the performance. Everything. It was different. Jacko, go on, give me your thoughts.
Pretty much right, mate. That was, to be honest. I mean, against Crystal Palace, it was just, it was. I mean, for me, it was like what was it? 10 or 15 minutes. We looked okay, started passing the ball or anything, but still looked nervous. And then all of a sudden, we just seemed to lose it. But second half, when we came out, I thought, we got that. We got a bit behind us. And I think we had a couple of chances, like going forward and what have you. It was all right, but again, like just lacking concentration at the back, and we went. And like you just quite rightly stated, absolutely.
Can I hold you there against Palace?
Say again, sorry.
Just put this one in your pipe and smoke it for a bit. 0-0. Mark Gray, he had been booked, committed a foul, may have been sent off. Fine margins, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 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 always going to be fine margins in it. I mean, the way it is and anything, but for me, it's just it is what it is. It just goes that way. But I just think there's definitely been an improvement when we were against the Villa, like the other day. It was just definitely an improvement.
Again, another bit against Villa. 0-0. João Gomez up the field. Someone stepped on his foot.
Yeah.
Referee didn't give us a free kick.
Yeah.
Ball goes up the other end.
Yeah.
They score. And where they score, the edge of the box, Boubacar Kamara, he hits the ball in. The aforementioned João Gomez, who was fouled, if it wasn't fouled with the referee giving a free kick, would have been there.
Yeah.
Fine margins again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Things aren't going away, are they?
I don't know what I mean. There was saying about the VAR, that he couldn't go, that far back again. The play had gone too much forward. But I just don't.
This is Wolves.
This is Wolves, and what I just don't get is that surely that's what VAR is there for. It's it's video evidence to see. So I don't understand, and I don't want to use the word, but is it? It can't be corruption. Surely it's just got to be totally rubbish officiating, both from on
Well,
field.
you've seen it given, though, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, and some will say, oh, he should have gone down, and fair play to him to try and stop up. I mean, as you know, I mean, I'm not the greatest fan of JG's, but to me, it's still a foul, nonetheless, whether he goes down or not. It's still a foul. It's still a press on his feet, and when like how many? What was it? Half an hour later, when they nearly sent off the. I just thought, massive double standards, like, do you know what I mean? And
I didn't even think it was a foul.
Yeah, well,
daft if you like, but I didn't even think it was a foul.
But you know what? I mean, they always say that when your 2 feet come off the ground and you go into a challenge, it's almost certainly a red. But when you look back at it, on that, fair play to the ref. I think he got it right, to be honest. The yellow card. Do you know what I mean?
His feet weren't even that high up, though, were
No,
they?
they weren't. They were what?
And the player feigned injury, though, didn't he? Trying to get him sent off.
At the very most, he was probably 2-3 inches off the ground, and that was at the absolute most. Do you know what I mean? But I actually thought it was right to be yellow card. It's certainly not a red. I think the referee got it right, but I just don't understand how VAR looked at it, but they didn't look at the foul on JG. Earlier in the game, and I thought to myself, well, hold on, that's possibly cost us 3 points. There is, but it's football. It's a funny old game, and before we had VAR and all this technology. We always used to talk about the game, but what really, really annoys me is that we have got video technology now to rule stuff like that. And to me, that is why now. To me, the big question has got to be to the officials now: what is going on with VAR? You either get it right, or is there some kind of corruption in the game? And I don't, I just don't want to think that way. But it just makes you think that with all this video technology now, whether it be football or in our courts even, I suppose. But if you've got video technology, it proves beyond all reason about all the doubt. Sorry, that it's a foul, it's sending off, it's whatever. It works well in rugby. Why can't it work well in football? And I just do. I won't yeah, we lost against Villa, but you know what? It was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was certainly an improved performance. And
Oh,
you know,
night and day.
yeah,
What's proceeding?
it's like it's a derby, and it's going to be a big derby again. Like against Forest. But at least that we've hopefully got the upper hand of being at Molineux. Rob Edwards was going to give the players that buzz, and I liked the video that I saw of him on Wolves' social media page, where he's going up to players individually, and you can see he's got that sort of positivity, what he's playing up to. Can I have a word with you a bit later? And this and that. And you can see it just goes to show when you've got a supervisor or a manager there that goes up to the players initially, pats them on the back. That's good, and puts a bit of a constructive criticism. But you could see the way he was going up to, and I thought, you know what? I must admit, I think it's a bit of lip service with Rob Edwards coming in, but I just like that video, the way he was going up to the players and saying, you could hear him saying it, giving them a bit of a enthusiasm in there.
I haven't seen that one. Was this after the Villa game?
Yeah, I think I saw it the late this morning, so I'm going to assume that it was recorded sometime this morning. Anyway, I'm not quite sure. Or the training session yesterday, I don't know, but it was good. Do you know what I mean? It was good, and I like watching that. And to be fair, like I watch videos like that with Vitor Pereira as well. Do you know what I mean? He was always laughing and joking with the players and what have you. I don't know what went wrong with him, whether he had one style or what, but I saw exactly the same with Vitor Pereira on the videos.
He lost the plot. He was picking a different 11 every week. He had no clue who his best 11 were.
He didn't.
He tapped it all when he dropped. He didn't even pick them two Brazilians. But it's clear to me that Rob Edwards doesn't rate Santiago Bueno, and I'll tell you why he has been dropped. It is because when he had that tussle with Fleming against Burnley for the second goal, Fleming shrugged him off, didn't he? Too easy. And also the game away against Chelsea when Garnacho just jogged away from him. You can't be that too slow in the Premier. It was embarrassing. And also when the first goal, I think it was when the winger crossed it. I think it was Hugo Bueno was marking him, but he still got the cross in, and Bueno left their player unmarked and who scored. So I think looking at it, I think that's why he's dropped Santiago Bueno. Hugo Bueno's a bit more unlucky because he brings a lot of energy to the team. But I think possibly he's looked at Muller Wolf's performance in the second half against Chelsea where he got them 2 goals. But I think that's why.
Yeah, I can see that's good points. I mean, I've never really been
because Agbadu's played. He's looking a bit more like himself since Edwards has come back.
Yeah,
and Totti hasn't done too badly, and Mosquera didn't do too bad on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it'll be interesting to see which formation he lines up with against Forest. If it's 5 at the back or 4 at the back, because in his press conference today, I think there's still doubts about Krejci, his knee injury, whether he's going to be fit again. And if he is fit, where will he play him? Middle of defence or midfield like he did in the second half of the Carabao Cup game against Chelsea? It'd be interesting to see, but these are the joys of being a manager, aren't they?
Krejci is playing out of place at the moment under Vitor. He was playing out of place. Do you know what I mean? I think he's better more in midfield. He's a bit hot. It reminds me a bit like JG, to be perfectly honest with you. Do you know what I mean? Although he gives a lot of fouls, but he's good on the ball and he literally shugs players off. in my view, and that ain't slating JG. Do you know what I mean? He's one of our best players, but I just think to myself, he's better in midfield, Croatia is without a doubt. But I think when Emmanuel was not having a very good, it is his first name, isn't it, Emmanuel Agbado? Because I've
Agbado.
I've
Yeah.
never pronounced his surname properly, should aware. But
Yeah.
it was just when he was having really, as we're all aware, he was having like real bad games. On the last few games we beat up. In fact, most of the season he had bad games, and that's why they put Craig in the back and obviously SG as well. But SG I've never really liked anyway. He's always pushed off the ball. He's to me he's just not Premier League. He's nowhere near Premier League standard. And I don't think he's fit to wear the shirt on the subs bench. I know that's harsh, but I just don't rate him at all. But Croatia, yeah, he's got that. He's got that bit of bite about him. And I'll tell you one player it doesn't seem to be featuring much. And I hope he's because he's injured apparently at the moment. He's for Lopez, and I think he can
Yeah,
shine
he
as well.
wasn't even in the squad on Sunday, I don't think.
No, apparently he's injured though, but I don't know whether I looked on the injury page and I couldn't see whether he was injured or not, to be honest. But I think
And there was talk that Celta Vigo wanted him back on loan in January, but there was some obstacle in the way.
yeah. So but as you know, my favourite player, RG. I think he's going to be out for another couple of weeks, is he?
Yeah.
Which that ain't bad considering the injury he had and how quick he's coming back. So that's pretty good. But you know what, Courtney? I'm actually optimistic tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I'm actually optimistic.
Sunday's game gave me a bit more hope.
Yeah, it is because it just against the Villa or the other day, and I thought to myself that I mean, Android, that defending was terrible considering he's a Brazilian international.
Yeah, of course, looking at the replay, he could have closed him down.
Yeah,
not just stand there, put your hands on your back.
No, but
I mean, the bloke stopped the shot.
He could have been about 8 yards away from his player. Poor marking.
Yeah.
You know
just
what I mean?
Put your hands behind the back. Nah, just try and charge down the shot.
Yeah, exactly. Try and charge down the shot. And I just thought to myself, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it Brazil's their last game but one where they were both dropped and they never even got the names mentioned? They never even got in there. This is Brazil. Do you know what I mean? And
there's a World Cup at the end of this season as well.
Yeah. And if they were absolutely top of the world defence like we used to have with Moutinho and Neves, they'd be in the side absolutely. But they're clearly they're not up to scratch, and it's a bit of a shame because I know JG is a fan's favourite, but I just think to myself he just gives too many away, and he's trying to be too much on the ball instead of passing off. And I remember when we went to the game the other day, and you could see he just weren't laying the ball off quick enough, and it took a goalkeeper more than anything to lay it through. And one thing that jumped out to me again was Toulouse. They're not providing Toulouse up there, and he's got a bit of pace. Not only he's an absolute man mountain. Do you know what I mean? That he's got muscles on top of muscles, but they just weren't providing.
How long is it going to take him to get match fit? Because he's been with us since the start of the season.
Yeah, yeah. But I know some people are going to laugh and think I'm going, like I need tablets or something. But I actually feel that I'm quite optimistic tomorrow. At the very least, we'll get a draw. I don't think we're going to lose tomorrow. I don't know some people are going to laugh at me and do that, but I don't think we're going to lose tomorrow.
I hope you're right. Because I say we've seen a difference between Vitor's Wolves and Rob Edwards' Wolves. Well, the Vitor's Wolves have since April because we've lost every game apart from 3 since Leicester win.
Yeah,
so in the league anyway. But tomorrow, what do you think? Because Forest, they had a bit of the momentum before the weekend because they won 3-0 Liverpool the previous week. But Sunday, they lost 2-0 at home to Brighton. Looking at the highlights, it could have been a lot more. Honestly, Brighton. Because last season they beat Brighton 7-0 at the City Ground, but this season it could have been 7-0 to Brighton.
Yeah.
So,
I'm more thinking towards that it's either going to be 1 each or 2 each, and we're going to go 2-1 down, and we'll get a last-minute equaliser or something like that. That's probably about where I'm at. What about yourself?
Well, I'm hoping. I think we can win. I think, and I know we're desperate and we're scrappers. So I think we're going to pull it off.
Yeah,
I think so. And and then after that, we've got a small matter Monday night against Man United. I can't go to that because of work, but tomorrow I'm hopeful, and most of
Yeah,
the other Wolves fans who I spoke to are the same. They're
yeah,
hopeful as well,
yeah,
optimistic.
yeah.
Come on, lads, do it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. There's that bit of a, oh man, it's just not happening. I mean, I'd mentioned Fawson again because there's been talk about it on social media again that they've blocked all replies and what have you. And there was a banner that was seen down south about getting Fawson out. Like if you're not interested in the club, sell it. And apparently now that's got back to Fawson, so they've stopped all replies. Don't know how true this is. Obviously, Fawson are very quiet sometimes, or most of the times. But apparently now
Those voices are not going to go away.
they're not, are they? They're not. I'm going to ask you this question, because this has jumped up in the air. On the bit of a political stance, there's big things with the UK and against China at the moment. Do you think that's having an effect on the game at all?
It could be because a lot of the clubs recently, including Birmingham, I'm not sure if it's Villa as well, but a lot of them are sold to Americans, aren't they? A lot of the teams that were owned by Chinese are not now, though, aren't they? So I think it could well do because China support Russia, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's all that stuff with Ukraine, isn't there? So I think that there probably is something in that.
I just thought to myself because I was reading an article by Ryan Lester, and I think that's his surname, and he was mentioning about Reading, that they were lost one for the Chinese ownership, and they were going right down the slopes, and all of a sudden they've been taken over by somebody else, and they're becoming a lot better. And I just thought to myself, okay. And obviously Wars were mentioned with Fawson, and I thought perhaps it's because there's no way. I don't think at the moment Fawson are going to sell Wolves. I really don't. I think
the thing is, I don't think it's impossible because
yeah,
if Wolves go down, which we're heavy favourites to,
yeah,
the value of the club is going to plummet.
Yeah,
half, quarter, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility. So
No, absolutely. I mean, they're damaged now, Fawson are. I mean, even though they're an international company, do you know what I mean? But they're damaged.
Look what we were
Yeah,
a few years ago, and Neves,
Yeah.
Moutinho,
Yeah.
Joe, Neves, Jota, and all,
Yeah.
Adama,
Yeah.
Roman
Yeah.
Sace, Willy Bolly in
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
But look at us now.
I
We're
think
laughing stock.
I think we've been given false hopes by Fawson and Jeff Shea. I really do. There was no way we was going to become as originally thought of when he said that we were going to become the next Man City. And I think
bigger than Man City.
Yeah, and we've they've sold a false flag to previous managers, like let alone J-Lo and stuff like that. And I think now it's the same with Wolves. It's almost the same as selling a false flag. We were never going to be like sort of that bigger club or bigger than Man City, and that's why I think now that Fawson need to sell the club. But I don't think if it's going to be immediately, it's going to be more so with fan power, i.e., not buying season tickets or not buying any merchandise or anything like that. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. I, for one, I love these shirts when I buy them. I like the merchandise, but it's not going to happen. Like, do you know what I mean? But there we go.
I've got to wrap up now, but yeah, hopefully the Wolves win tomorrow.
Oh, well, yes, absolutely. Massive.
Over and out.
I'll stop that, buddy.